Year 1603 on the mist-covered slopes of Mount Koya, a young warrior named Kenji knelt in the cold dirt, his breath shaking as he watched the woman he admired walk past him without a single glance. And in that moment, he felt something break inside him, for he had trained his sword for years, yet still remained invisible to the people he wished would notice his presence. And maybe you know this feeling too. The silent fear that no matter how much effort you put into being worthy, others look through you as if you do not exist. And here is what nobody tells you. The question is never how to make women notice you. The real question is how to forge a presence so strong that people feel you before you ever speak. And as Kenji stared into the drifting fog, he swore he would uncover this secret. And so he journeyed to the old dojo of Master Hakuin, a man whispered to possess the power of unspoken gravity, a power deeper than charm or technique, a power that made others lean toward him without trying. But Kenji did not yet know that his problem was not lack of attractiveness nor lack of effort. His true prison was the restless inner noise that kept him unfocused and scattered, for every time he approached someone, he wished to impress. His mind pulled in many directions, and the result was always the same. They drifted away, and he was left standing in quiet defeat. And this is you. Right now you enter rooms and feel yourself shrink. You speak and feel your voice weaken. You want connection, yet your mind fights against you. And in the ancient dojo, Kenji faced his first humiliation when Master Hakuin told him, "Your presence is thin because your mind is thin. You are everywhere except here. Sit and learn the art of stillness. For only warriors who master stillness draw others without effort." And throughout history, samurai discovered this truth. Presence is not force nor performance. It is the silent gravity of a settled mind. And so Kenji began zazen each dawn, legs burning back, aching thoughts pulling at him like wild horses. And he failed again and again, until one morning Master Hakuin spoke with a voice that felt older than time, saying, "You know, Kenji, this path you walk is not yours alone. Throughout time, warriors have faced this same battle. The battle of unseen presence, and even in worlds beyond this mountain, many fight this same struggle. The principle of stillness that creates natural attraction is not locked in this age. It lives wherever warriors choose to train. Here we keep this wisdom alive, not as history, but as daily practice every week. We sharpen presence every week. We strengthen the mind every week. The dojo opens for those ready to walk this path. If you feel your struggle reflected in Kenji, subscribe not to watch, but to train." And with those words, the moment ended, and Kenji returned to the tatami floor, ready to face the awakening that would reshape his life forever. Kenji entered the crucible of training, and the first week shattered him, as Master Hakuin instructed him to walk the forest path at dawn, holding a single breath for as long as he could. And Kenji broke after only a few steps, and the master simply nodded, saying, "Your mind leaks energy like a cracked bowl." And the second week brought a small spark of change when Kenji noticed the wind brushing his skin and the sound of birds rising. And for the first time, his awareness stayed in one place. And in the third week, the old pattern returned as he faced a group of travelers on the mountain road, and his chest tightened and his presence vanished, and he felt invisible again. And this is you right now. For every time you try to show confidence, your mind drags you into old fear, and you collapse inside yourself. And so Master Hakuin introduced the daily ritual of breath stance and gaze, a simple practice where Kenji stood barefoot on stone for 10 minutes each morning, shaping stillness until his body learned not to flee, and his mind learned not to scatter. And modern science now confirms what the old masters knew long before your amygdala reacts to threat by shrinking your awareness. Your prefrontal cortex loses clarity, and you appear smaller and weaker, and presence dies. and samurai understood this. And Musashi wrote that the mind must remain unmoving even when the body is in motion, and the Stoics later echoed this same truth, saying the soul becomes dyed with the color of its focus. And over months of practice, Kenji felt tiny changes surface. Strangers glanced at him, then held their gaze. Fellow students sensed a new steadiness in him, and even silence felt different around him. And what Kenji did not know yet was that these early shifts were only the beginning, and the real transformation waited just ahead in trials he was not yet prepared to face. Months passed, and Kenji entered the deeper arc of training, and his body grew stronger, while his mind settled like calm water. And by the 6th month, he could hold stillness even when other students tried to provoke him. And by the 9th month, the practice lived inside him, and his breath moved without effort, and his gaze stayed steady even under pressure. Yet doubt returned in the 10th month, when he woke before dawn, feeling hollow and directionless, and he wondered if all his effort meant anything. And Master Hakuin told him, "This is the final test before breakthrough." And so Kenji sat in meditation, and his awareness expanded beyond the dojo until he felt the presence of warriors across time. And in that silence, a voice rose inside him, saying, "This training is ancient." And samurai walked it, and others across distant lands walk it even now. And the path continues, not as entertainment, but as discipline. And if you choose to walk with warriors who train presence and strength, subscribe to the dojo, for the dojo is always open. And then the vision faded, and Kenji returned to himself, feeling a new clarity, and in the following months, he faced harsher tests, dueling in rain training through exhaustion, enduring failure, and rising again, until stillness became instinct, and presence became natural. And he no longer chased validation for his energy, now drew others without effort, and the transformation that once felt impossible had begun to take its full shape. The final trial arrived when bandits threatened a village near Mount Koya, and Kenji stood before their leader feeling the old fear try to return. Yet he breathed once, and his mind settled into pure stillness, and without raising his blade, he stepped forward with unshakable presence. And the bandit hesitated, then backed away, sensing a force he could not name, and the conflict ended without a single strike. And word spread of the young warrior whose calm dissolved violence, and women who once overlooked him now felt drawn to the quiet strength around him. For his presence spoke louder than charm or effort. And 10 years later, Kenji became master of the same dojo where he once trembled, and a new student arrived, eyes filled with the same insecurity Kenji once carried. And Kenji looked at him and said, "I see myself in you, and this path does not end here." For throughout history, warriors have walked it, and today others walk it too. And every week we sharpen presence. Every week we quiet the mind. Every week we train those who choose transformation. So subscribe not to watch, but to become and know this. You stand where Kenji once stood, and you can return to your old way, where invisibility follows you. Or choose the warrior path, where discipline creates gravity. And most people choose comfort and fade through life unseen. But warriors choose the path and leave proof they lived. And the choice is now yours. And you cannot unhear this truth. So walk with us, train with purpose, become the presence the world feels before you ever speak.